The original plan was to just let the music play for 5 seconds before I started talking. But damn, is it good! Welcome to Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon. This is a demo delve made before the game was released, and it's in early access as well as having a demo. My thoughts of this is to actually look at the game, dig into it, and see what can be improved with it, and what's really good, and what should be expanded upon. This is a Skyrim-like game, inspired by Arthurian legend and myth with its own takes on it.
The all-consuming Red Death. 600 years ago, King Arthur led the great escape from the homelands.
I was also considering just letting that continue playing, but no, this is a review, so I have to speak in it. I like this kind of intro style. It's an art style which is basically 2D images. You put them in layers and you move them. There's some other little effects going on. It's used for easy intros. The intro of this game quickly establishes the setting, establishes the big problem, it gives you background on the story, and then it tells you where you tie into it. It says, there's a plague, this is Arthurian Legend, is a little bit different than Arthurian Legend, there's some strange magic, and you are in a prison cell dying a horrible death. Character creator. I do love a good character creator. This one's got 4 presets and a randomizer. So, genders, male, female. Would you notice that? Male and female genders, not biotype A and biotype B. Also, there are different body types with musculature. Really hard to tell apart. I think that's because of my graphic settings. Now the face presets are really ugly. None of them look all that good. That also seems to be because of graphics partly, and also I think the lighting in the character creator is actually just bad and it casts a bad face on most characters. Later on when I turn my graphics up, the faces do look nicer. That being said though, it's a weird mix of you're never really looking at your face in this game except when you're equipping items and you're always going to be wearing a helmet, so the face isn't important, but it's nice to know it's there. And because it's nice to know it's there, I would like them to lean more into giving you more attractive faces, because you're a hero, you're a paragon. Paragons look good. Even if you're wearing a helmet, you're looking good under that helmet. Of course, as games of this do, it gives you a whole bunch of options to uglify yourself up, and well, basically 99% of players don't pick these options. It's also nice to know that they're there. You can horribly scar your character if you want to. I wonder if anyone's ever picked this hairstyle. Again, it's the same story though. It's nice to know it's there as an option even if people don't pick it, and maybe a lot of people do. The hair options are so-so, but it's again that sort of back and forth thing I talked about earlier, so we don't need to dwell on it anymore. I do like the variety of facial tattoos. They seem appropriate to the setting. That's very cool. Different colors, different sort of Gaelic options, and some more cultic runes. And you can also tattoo your body, which is also really cool, giving you that option there. What I'll quickly point out here is that kind of underwear though, especially the top, was never worn by women historically. It will look more like a wrap. That was developed way later in time. It's a fantasy world though, so we can roll with it. But because it's a fantasy world, you can't say, oh, it's a medieval world, everyone's ugly. Checkmate. Quick look at the difficulty options. We have normal, we have easy, and we have journalist. We're going to play on normal, of course. Now, I have the graphics, I believe, set to minimum, as my computer was having troubles with them set to higher. Yeah, I have them set to low. Alright, let's talk about why my voice sounds so low energy. There are in fact 2 recordings. There's the first recording when I was playing the game, and there's the recording while I'm editing. Back to Past Corner. The game's still demo, still early access, so it probably has a bit of optimizing to be done. One of the big things that comes about with games is once they do a general large release, after they do their demo and their early access, is they can see how it works on a lot more systems, and people can give them more bug reports, and then they can patch them. But honestly, one of the big things they should be looking at with their early access besides just trying to get some extra funding, is making the game as stable as possible and testing on all those machines. And people, if you own the game in early access, you're not just playing the demo, then do report your issues. Hello there.
Look, we just have to get this over and done with. So, tell me, what were you doing in the forest when the red shields caught you?
This is a fun way to do character creation, where it's this little interrogation. It's not quite like a Pokemon dungeon, but you still can sort of create your class out of this. So, I want to go with a magic build, so I'll say I was seeking sites of worship.
Yeah, you look like one of those half-starved druids who survived the Charred Conclave.
And then I can give my subclass of healer or nutcase.
Big talk, as always.
This is an excellent way to let you create your character while being a part of the story, which is very nice. It gives you a good feeling introduction to the game, and it sort of gets you into the gameplay faster than normal by letting you interact with the game while starting the game. Unfortunate little bit of lag there. The arrow literally spawned in his head and then exploded. Now at this point I was wondering, how's that bow staying on his back? And it's fantasy magic. This is a nice little character. He's your rescuer. He's how the story starts.
I know. You've a million questions. But they'll have to wait.
And the voice acting is pretty good from him, so good on you, voice actor. Now this game will inevitably be compared to Skyrim, and it's actually doing that kind of on purpose. It's like an homage. So many things are similar. They even have horse armor to buy as a pre-release bonus DLC. Now, one of the immediate first disappointments of this game is that you can take the bucket, but you can't pick it up by holding E down. How am I supposed to rob people blind? I do stand up on the bucket though, so it's probably the engine doesn't actually have a physics engine in it, like the Skyrim engine, so it probably actually isn't possible to pick up the bucket and fondle it about. But immediately when I saw the bucket, the first thing I wanted to do was grab it and go woo 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 and chuck it. Physics engine on the body. I can't do anything. I don't have a body beneath me. That's always a mixed bag to do that. Take all with F. That's nice. It's told me to go left, so of course I'm going to go right. Then find my inventory by pressing I. And oh my goodness, I am messed up with horrible disease. Fire magic. Equipping that looks cool. And put on the hood. Already look better. No need for a cape. Ooh, some wrappings on the arms. Watching this back, this is actually a very good paper doll. This is fun, it zooms in, it shows the clothing sort of appear and style. This is a very nice paper doll. This is a very good looking game. I like its look, even with the low graphics, it looks quite nice. Quick criticism though of its graphics option is when you change the graphics preset, it automatically turns back on motion blur, and motion blur is the worst setting in the world. It makes every game worse. Know how I was talking about I'm happy it's there even if I don't use it? Motion blur is a no, just get rid of it. It's a waste of development time. This spell casting animation though, that's fire. Fire magic has a, you click it and shoot it, or you hold it down and cast it, and it explodes. There's also those little whirly rings around the hands. Also, I only noticed this in editing, but there's that atmospheric fog everywhere. Beautiful Liliana in the Chamber of Ecstasy. Very saucy. Milk. Can do cooking. Now, I will say, one of the really big things about Skyrim cooking, which I love, is the character leans in and starts stirring, or they spin the meat spit and you get to see that while they're cooking. And I think that's one of the things that makes Skyrim timeless, is that little detail. The cooking here does serve the purpose of getting you a little bit immersed in the world, but I think it's not as good as it could be without that interactive object. Ooh. It's more than just the book he has here. Pretty decent art from the guards who did this. Although it's of a prisoner, and there's something messed up with their hand. It's a little twisted, actually, if you really start to think about it. Oh, wow. This is just directly out of Skyrim. And that's great, because Skyrim has the best lockpicking of any video game ever. It is my favorite by far. I've played a lot of different systems, a lot of different lockpicks. Skyrim's is the best. If you're not copying Skyrim's, do this to yourself. A little overgrown prison too. It's saying up the aesthetics that this is a kingdom in decay. Like have skulls set up here, no taxidermy obviously. There's vines busting into the place. It's kind of shabby. They've got the 7 commandments, some sort of religious text, setting up the scene. This place is very gritty, very bloody. So that's a good start. It also gives you a feel of the architecture. I love this sort of ceiling. Like, one of my favorite architectural designs is these peaked roofs here and stonework. They're so nice looking. That is so Skyrim. Okay, is that man dead in his chair? No, he is not. As a red priest, very much alive. We can just bombard him with our fireballs. Give him a good bop. Ooh, that bop was good. Like, he definitely dropped, but it had a good, but that felt right. The bop to him, and then he just went down. That felt really good, actually. The fireballs are okay, but that bop. I really like that bop to his head. I can switch to the red priest robe, which is very satisfying switching between the armors. The sound effects are nice, and you get a little bit of visual movement. Very nice. Oh wow, that eye is very Skyrim as well. This is like a retextured Skyrim done with the Unreal Engine. Might not be the Unreal Engine. Ooh. Here's another setup for the story of the game. What on earth is this skull? Also on the engine, I just looked up, it is made in Unity. And the composer is Danheim. He seems to do a lot of modern Viking music, and by that I mean it sounds medieval, but I don't know what the actual medieval Viking music sounded like. So that's why I call it modern medieval Viking music. This looks like an armory storeroom. That's good as well. Ooh, shield. You can get yourself kitted out. Hello? You don't look so good, Lisa.
Do you see what a miracle I am? Healed. Healed. I am no longer sick.
That looks... For the sake of brevity, I'm not going to go through most of the dialogues as they are long, but what I've gathered from going through most of them and talking with people is the dialogues are fairly decently voice acted, and they add to the story. They make you question what's going on. They early on make you feel what's going on in the game. You sort of like, what's the mystery going on here? What's the sickness that everyone has? What's the weirdness? What's the red plague? What are the red priests doing? So the dialogues is definitely dialoguing. And the writing is good enough. I mean, I haven't seen the overarching writing, but as dialogue writing go, I really like it actually. It's good dialogue writing in my opinion. And you're not overwhelmed by your own options, and it takes itself seriously. It doesn't have that stupid Avengers Marvel snark to it. More plants and degradation taking over. Ah, good. Jump scare. Undead. I kind of like it's called Undead, not some name like the Fallen or the Ravaged or the Plagued. It's just Undead. That's me out of mana. Mana regens. I don't really want to go near him as health doesn't seem to regen. That's what I call fireworks. Wow, that was quite a bit of force. If I had not much force, yeah. So, my big fireball's like an AoE splash. I can kind of lob it at both of them. I must say, I love this kind of combat. There's some skill to it, some tactics to it. I still haven't discovered the dash button, which lets you do a little dodge, but I don't need that in this kind of combat. I just like the running away and running around and doing the skittering back and forth range attacks. The Skyrim combat is one of my favorite combats of all time, and it's also a good combat. People are like, oh, it's no Dark Souls. No. In some ways it's better, but that's a subject for a different video. But anyways, this is a great kind of combat. And these sound effects are nice. A little bit of gore, a little bit of slashing. Yeah, and the hit takedown physics is good ragdoll. In exploring this opening demo map, there's just so many nice little bits of lore and things. There's all these charts and maps and diagrams that you can choose to explore, and they'll give you more of the lore and the background of the story, or you can just move on from them. And either way, they're really nice to be there. It's just, I like that they're there, and if I want to read them, I can, and if not, then I can move on. Ow! Ooh, that lurch hurts. Oh, I think I have a dodge button. It didn't give me a prompt tutorial. That's actually something I've noticed. I haven't been tutorial prompted too much. It's like, this game's like Skyrim. You should know it. It's almost what it's telling me. Okay, we got a locked door here. See some sort of visage of a red priest. Oh, pickaxe. There we go. Tutorial. You see a place you want to go to. Ooh, I want to go there. They put a pickaxe in the wall. They give you a spot to mine. That's proper tutorial. You see a place you want to go. You can't get there. Then it gives you a way to get there, but you have to do that thing to get there. And now it's a new mechanic. There is a reward for doing it, so it teaches you to do it. It's a good thing to mine the rocks. And it brings you to an interesting reward and fight against two guys. And so then you can pop into your Skyrim inventory and eat a bunch of food and avoid drinking blood because that apparently hurts you, and heal up with potions and cheese. Okay, reduce the number of enemy. Don't know if he takes burn damage or not. No, the combat feels a bit like Skyrim too. I like that. I really enjoy Skyrim's combat. This game feels a lot like Skyrim. I'm really liking it. There is differences, definitely, in the feel and the movement, the shape. It's like, it's the subtleties, differences, and they'll probably be more pronounced the more you play the game. This is also apparently like a really, really small team. After looking up, it's only a little over 50 people working on it. It's quite impressive considering the team size, how good the game feels up to this point. That being said though, there is the risk of intro polish, whereas a game company really works on the first act of a game or the first chapter of a game, because that's where they started, and so whenever they add something, they go back to it, they work on it again, and they keep polishing it, and so the very start of the game is very polished, very nice, but as the game proceeds, it falls apart as other people have their own projects and their own loves that they go to, and the game isn't as cohesive and doesn't tie together from that beginning simple, closed-in map. Like Baldur's Gate 3. Although there are also other problems that cause that. Now, one of the really cool things about the story that I've been getting up to this point is that all the lore and all the little things seem to be implying that those undead are the final stage of the plague you've been encountering. So you are fighting people who are once human, who were prisoners like you, and they're kind of broken out experiments. Also, this painting is really nice. I like the actual painting set into this 3D environment, and it's a very pretty painting. Blood transfusion. Separate projectile spell. I think it's a life drain. It's like the vampirism only spell from Skyrim. Alright, come at me. Ready? Let me drain your blue. That was a string. I will say though, at the early levels, it appears to suck. Okay, watch this next bit. This is just so satisfying. If you're looking away from your screen, look now. Bam! Oh, that's good. This game's opening is very grim. Like, man, these places are very, very grim. The alchemy station has the same problem as the cooking station, which is you do not lean in to do stuff on it. And a lot of games could get away with not doing that. However, this game is being so much like Skyrim in so many ways, even with the horse armor and the lockpicking, that if you don't do that, then it feels like it's missing, which is just kind of an interesting paradox I thought of just now, which is when you copy something, even if it's a nod towards it or you're borrowing ideas from it, you have to be careful with that. Because sometimes you might not get what other people got from that thing. Now this section is very cool here, crawling underground. Using the crouch mechanic, actually going places with it is very interesting. Now, for some reason, I said this. Giant spider coming to eat my face. And in claustrophobic tunnels like this, that would be terrifying. I think they should crouch and come after you. If you do a tunnel like this, they should crawl in here and try to get you. Else you'll get the very silly situation that this is. And it's definitely a missed opportunity, because I said, this is a silly situation that could very quickly turn into the most stressful combat ever, which was trench warfare. Now, if that was to happen, that would be horrifying, and it'd also be a great moment. You would come down here, you'd crouch and go, haha, I'm going to abuse the game, they can't get me. Then they crouch down and chase after you. That would be like mind-blowing and completely subject your expectations, but subject them in a good way. The word is subvert, not subject. Subjecting your expectation. I don't even know what that would be. This is one of those nice little loopy dungeons which you can get lost in, especially this section, and I enjoy those. It gives the illusion that the dungeon is bigger than it is, and you feel clever when you figure it out. The one thing you have to be careful of is if your player is an absolute moron like me, they can potentially actually get stuck in a forever loop. So you have to do subtle things like change the level of the map so the way out is always down, or the way out is always going right. Just little subtle clues. You don't need to draw white arrows, but you do need to give them a context clue. Like this little bridge here is a context clue of this is the way to go, this is leading somewhere.
And who the hell are you?
Who am I?
Another one of those red dogs? Say a prayer to your goddess and get ready to die, scum!
Oh, is it because I'm wearing the red clothing?
Then why are you dressed in their bloody rags?
Oh, that's
Well,
fun.
I see you bear the marks of torture too. Maybe the priest messed with your mind, because one more moment and you'd be dead.
And this is one of the best parts in the whole demo, is you show up, talk to this guy, and you're wearing the red priest robes, and he gets mad at you for wearing it. Kingdom Come does this sort of in your clothing has stats, so you can be more prestigious or less. This, though, is I hope that the rest of the game has it that your clothing actually has an impact. So if you're wearing the right clothes, you can do different things, like you can sneak into a red priest encampment, or you can strip off your clothes and cover yourself in tattoos and sneak into whoever this guy's encampment is. If the game does that, it will be one of the best games ever, simply because you take this paper doll thing that they have in these RPGs where there's this armor that's objectively the best, and you go, it's objectively the best unless the story says it isn't. And if it does that, that will be amazing. Oh, this seems like a really bad idea. Hello, you seem to be alive.
Stay back. I may not be in top shape, but I can tear you to pieces if I have to.
You don't look like a human.
So, you escaped too? Huh. They're having quite a day. Good. I hope it gets even worse. This whole place is mad. From a safe distance this time.
You saw the writing down there. Didn't say everything. Or she didn't say everything. There's some voice lines there that didn't come out. But there was the subtext there. I wonder if that's the plan in the future. This is a very interesting little character interaction. You're in a dungeon. You find someone who's kind of weird. They talk to you about the weirdness and the things that happen, various different things. You got arrested at the Imperial border just like me. Oh noes. And then she's injured, and you can offer her a healing potion. Which, anyone else drawing any similarities between this and something else, or is that just me? Also, she's like a weird horned goat witch person, which is exciting. There's different kinds of people. So am I all bloody and messed up because I've been tortured, or am I bloody and messed up because I have a disease? I've got my hair still. That must mean something. Oh, goodness me. There. It seems that this disease pit is only for male bodies. god. Quite a lot of them. Wow, there's no need for movement there. Okay. Howdy, howdy. Okay. Oh, I can jump. I can make it. Oh, there we go. Ooh. This don't look good. Fish shouldn't be making that noise. I'm sorry, friend.
You will.
But I've got very distinct advantage over this boss fight.
Your death
This fight is just kind of silly. Something that can be quite scary is set up obviously to show you this. So you can hop up here, you can do this. But it's still silly. But it is on purpose.
Join to the abyss.
Got him. Thorn bandage hat. What does this do? +2 armor. Receive melee damage. Returns 5 damage back. Oh, that's cool looking. I like the aesthetic. It's very gritty, very... Yes. Dual daggers, yeah. And then the final one... Wait, if I have 2 burning embers... Can I burn embers both hands? I can. Doesn't combine together. Maybe I need to get a trait like in Skyrim. Shouldn't punch rocks though. Although you do sometimes tell people to go pound rocks. Little secret boss with a fun helmet. Just like this place is so good. Like these staircases, the height, the depth, the wandering around inside it. Ah, love it. Ooh, these chains here. I wonder what's beyond there. Probably that horrible room. Oh my. Huh. Ah. Oh. Looks like an enemy from Dragon Age. Up the stairs. Oop. His own projectiles. Oop, oop. Do I have any potions of mana? In sobriety? No. There we go. Mana potion. Oh, this is fun. Flinging them. Oh, if I hammered him with enough, he did catch fire. Don't know if he takes burn damage or not. Got him. Ho ho ho! Note of a man sinking into despair. Grief-torn armor. This is the grief-torn armor. Oh, I am starting to look very cool. Well, that's a two-hander. Yeah. I'm not particularly skilled in that. Ooh, even attacks take stamina. That's a little Dark Souls. Game's like a little bit of Skyrim, a little bit of Dark Souls. Action going on, a little bit of A, a little bit of B. There's the grim darkness. Let's not say grim darkness. There's the grim grittiness of Dark Souls with the gameplay of Skyrim. That's a nice blend. Haven't gotten over encumbered yet. It'll happen sooner rather than later. Getting leg spikes as well. Ooh. Hello. Tainted Grail. I really like that if I hit them with enough fire to actually combust. But it requires me sort of to like fling 2 of them at them. Okay, so zombie priest, down you go. Like if this game is basically a clone of Skyrim, I don't mind it. It's not, but if it is, I don't mind it, because it's a new setting with like new things going on. Like that's new, the priest, the enemies, it's all new, it's all different. And it's not exactly Skyrim. Like, there's different feels. It plays differently. It plays similarly and differently. Okay. Demonic bridge. Okay. Right. So the bridge isn't fully formed. Have stats effects on me. Red Death. You're sick and will soon die. How many times I can dash in a row without penalty? Is there a dodge one? Oh! Alt is dodge. It's showing me little controls there. I can push. Quick wheel. Hello. I can get horse. Caps lock to walk. So not all the tutorial is straightforward. Alt is a dodge. That's not very Skyrim. But there are attacks that do need dodging, so... Again, like a mix. Or more modern Skyrim. Ha! Hoo! Ha! Huta! Shabang! You're on fire! Dodge! This isn't concerning at all. I'm going to touch it. Oh, hello! And suddenly, we are playing Divinity Original Sins 1 with the weird extra dimension you go to. This is very pretty and very weird. Oh, that's a good castle. This place is awesome looking. That tower, the fractured glass, I always like myself some fractured floatiness. Creepy demonic children statues. Showing me the way. Ah, sir, my good friend, come with me. Down the stairs. You'll enjoy it. Reminds me of being back in Turkey. Ooh, that hand's holding on structure there. This place looks absolutely brilliant. One can only imagine how much work it actually took to put together, but there's a lot of creativity, a lot of good looks to it. I love this sort of floating islands with weird archaic architecture. It is so nice looking. I love the sky. Even though it's just a painting, I guess painting is not a model. It is a moving painting, so it's got layers to it. Still very good. Wonder if it slowly is rotating with a slight deformation. Well, if everyone knows the loop, if you watch it long enough. Some layer textures on the ground there. Could be shadow bugs from lower graphics. Still, I think that stacking of assets on each other is what that is. Or a baking error. Error, not error. Baking error. It's that or overlapping assets. Like, basically, put your fingers together, then lift them slightly, and then bring them together until your fingers are touching. It's kind of like that. I think that's a good way to describe it. Lots of flowers here. Good for alchemy collection. Probably some sort of optimal strategy in how to break the game with alchemy to collect all the flowers when you get to this zone. Make sure to do it or you're an absolute loser. This is 10 things you might have missed in the game of Broken Chalice. If you didn't collect the sweet tooth mushrooms, you're a loser. There's also a secret item hidden behind this rock here. If you walk around and you poke the roots 5 times, and you see the interesting intersection of the rock texture with the wall texture. I'm going to talk to it.
I've been waiting a long time for someone to find me. Are you here to help me leave this place?
Sure thing, Daddy-o.
I do not know. I think it is some kind of prison deep in the weirdness.
Alright, so are we going to prison break Ori's father from Ori and the Blind Forest? Because that's what I think I'm going to do. I mean, I'm prison breaking, so we're going to get to prison break. Even though I'm just a prisoner with a horrible disease, why don't I prison break the evil ancient entity imprisoned in the weirdness, probably by Merlin?
And you? Why are you here? Last drop of blood.
So this guy's obviously King Arthur. Who else would he be? King Arthur or Merlin, but he doesn't sound like Merlin to me. He sounds more like King Arthur. I really like this walk through this place, as you get to see little things in the past and little events and walk around, but also all the things you saw earlier from the opening of you appearing here. you actually get to travel to them and see them closer up in detail, which is such a nice thing to be able to do, because lots of times you actually don't get to go to those places, but on this one, you do get to visit quite a few of them. The dual wielding is interesting. You don't attack with the other hand, you just click and you slash with both of them, and then you can use the parry with the other click. It's always good to try out different weapon techniques. I like that you actually get to go to the places you saw, so throughout the castle and all the ruins and stuff, and there's the boat from the other side. Still see a little bit of the fighting. This is nice. This is really nice. This is really well put together. The game probably looks incredible with higher graphic settings, but my computer can't run because it's not optimized. And I want to run smoothly, so we'll run on medium. Ooh, a cutscene. This cutscene is genuinely a piece of art. Originally, in the first version of this video, I didn't even talk over it, so you could see it play once for yourself. Unfortunately, YouTube's bright copyright system decided to flag video game music on a cinematic, and so I've had to edit it to remove that. So now, hopefully it will not copyright me with me speaking over it the whole time, and you'll just get my original second take without getting to see it by yourself. Generally, a piece of art. The music is the main theme music, but it fits the scene so well. And the characters look so good in it. King Arthur in that bone armor is awesome looking, and the illusions and symbolism in all the images is very good. Like this scene here, he's sitting at the round table alone. There's that halo around him, but the place is dark. His armor is made of bone. It's very gothic and gritty. And he's collapsing dead. And his crown is breaking. It breaks into 3 pieces. Like, just the breaking's gorgeous, but also all the symbols in that and what potentially alludes to if you need to find the 3 fragments of his crown. And then there's Excalibur, or a copy of it, sitting on his coffin. They've made a stone carving of him, and this one's more elegant. It's less of the harsh bone. It's got sleeker lines. It makes him look more heroic and less of an absolute beast. And the music changes from that somber wail to this chanting. And you get to see this really well animated mouth doing the chanting, and then there's this like weird suspension going on here. And this whole scene is like, there is something evil going on here. There's something dark. Like, this place was already gothic, but this ritual chamber, whatever this place is, this is evil. This is vile. This is wrong. This is sacrilegious. And then you've got this beautiful angel whose form is twisted into this darker form, and she's pouring out the Tainted Grail, I think the game is named after, and waking King Arthur up again, the once and future king of Camelot.
Awaken thee, once and future king.
And the voiceover is good too. And yeah, Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon. Also, before we get any further, I thought I should mention that this is not the first game in this series. There's a game called Tainted Grail Conquest, which is a deck-building battle card game in a 3D environment, which is a bit like Slay the Spire, apparently. Also looks a bit inspired by Diablo. No demo of it, but it also has the same art style. It has that King Arthur, so they might have actually tied in the once and future king of him coming back again and again into a roguelike. And then this game is the continuation of their roguelite repetitive battle arcade card game thrown into a different genre. And that's really cool. That's really cool that the studio went and did that. That's Questline Studio. So good job on you from going from the card game to this game. That was very cool. This is, I guess, the Chamber Revival. So there's 2 different animation styles going on there. There was, actually almost 3. There was a... This music is very good. I really like this music. Right. So there was layered drawings, which had stretch animations, so they're basically grabbing the movement. So there's 2D animation, basically. Sort of 2D animation. Then there was one style 3D animation, which was very stilted. And then there's a 3D cutscene. And all of them were really, really nice looking. Just throwing the game into Ultra to see what we get here. Music's very good. This place is very cool as well. Like, the designs of the places, besides looking good, here's a secret. A game can look good. It can have excellent graphics. It can have top-notch graphics. But if your environments don't look good like this, then there's no point. Like, this is what you should be working on, is the art. The actual look, not the graphics fidelity, but what you're dealing with. And then you can improve your graphics to make it show what you want it to show. Because sometimes it can't show. Bind soul to the stone. Yeah, so it is the stones at the start of Skyrim.
I am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command.
These ones don't work, but I can talk to them. I hope they work on more than just this song, like they have good music throughout the whole thing.
I am his burden, the man beneath the myth.
Interesting thing about crowns that not everyone understands. Crowns are designed to be heavy and uncomfortable. If a king ever wears a crown that is comfortable and not heavy, then they are not a proper king.
I am the price paid for touching the unreal.
Nice animation if I, like, slam my hand into it and weird things happen, but nope, it's just a little eye flows up, and that's good enough too. Alright.
I am Arthur Pendragon.
Very bony armor.
I led humans to Avalon shores. I built the great halls of Camelot. Let us make the best of it, seeing my legacy through the eyes of another. A true picture of Avalon, not one crafted specifically for the king, may prove to be an interesting experience. Oh, what an adventure this will be.
In recent years, there's been a trend of head buddy companions. Noticeably starting in Cyberpunk with Johnny Silverhands being your hand, and he's not a very likable character. I did not enjoy Johnny, but there's potential there. Then there was the Illithid presence, the stranger in your mind in Baldur's Gate 3. And that character was kind of okay, but King Arthur is awesome. He shows up and he's like, "Let me be the king again. We shall go, you and I, companion, for you freed me." Then he finds out he's not powerful enough and he has to inhabit your body. And when he goes into you, he's like, "Yes, I'll look at the kingdom in the commoner's eyes. It'll be a grand adventure. You and I shall do this together." And even though the things are the worst and the situation is strange, Arthur has a positive attitude about it, and he's noble and kind-sounding. He's a companion you actually want, instead of being the weird, "Ooh, I'm the Illithid," or Johnny Silverhands being, "Meh, I'm an asshole." We will have to see how this head buddy does, but I have a very positive feeling about him. So the Holy Grail is all twisted and evil. I kind of feel like if you walk into this, it should instantly kill you. Probably a good thing it doesn't. That statue is really cool. Also, the statue behind all these knights are really cool. And the hanging roots from the ceiling as well. Even, like, her epaulets are little skulls. Look at that. Oh, it's so cool. This is one of my favorite art styles. It's like the weird twistedness of Dragon Age Origins, but with better graphics so it can actually see what's going on. Because so much of their stuff is just a mess of visuals that doesn't make sense. But this does. It looks good. Looks a bit like ovaries, like I just clicked on. Accidental symbolism, probably. Ring of Protection. Increase my armor by 1. I like that the numbers are small. Games don't need big numbers. Small numbers work well, and they're easier to understand. Use big numbers to give you a sense of scale, and use them sparingly. Also, I got the power of King Arthur, so I can now interact with the weirdness stuff. My face is no longer falling apart. Also, on the high graphics, the face doesn't look as bad as it was before, with the low, medium graphics. Okay. So I'm not dying because of King Arthur. Thanks, bro. That means I can also play with the machines. Properly now. Oh, I'm not going to fall through. Although... those are creepy. The forebearer stuff. Alright, we're back with lower graphics. Apologies. But I think it's made my recording more stable. Well, this is quite the machine. And these graphics aren't bad. Like, I'm used to this kind of graphics in video games. It's like Morrowind. A little bit better than Morrowind, actually. On retrospect of looking at it afterwards, I was handling the recordings just fine. I was worried about them corrupting on the in-between. So the game is better optimized than I thought. I'd still like it not to stutter while I'm playing, but it's doing pretty good. Soul Fragments grants you a measure of King Arthur's power, activated by pressing the middle mouse button. Increase the damage in slow time. Oh, everyone likes slow time. Reset the bonfire and select appropriate options for the king's power. Ow. I guess that's King Arthur's power over there. Ow. Magic actually seems to do a lot of damage. Oh dear. Need to potion up. Glurp, glurp. There we go. Take it down. No cool treasures. Cool enemy though. It was very fun. Ooh, through a portal. Guess we can now level up or throw fuel at it. Restore the weird soul powers with them. Yeah, it's a cool level up spot. You have to sort of put down a campfire and rest at it. It feels like a reference to Dark Souls. So that's fun. And the level up trees seem to be fairly decent. It is small percentile increases, but the numbers seem relatively small, so I think it'll probably end up and balance out into actually some pretty good stats. Also, the campsite's really pretty with these floating rooms, and there's this sort of like shimmering bubble surrounding the whole place that deforms the air. It's very nice looking. Or, yeah, okay. And that should end the demo. This game is very pretty looking. Full game will be 50 to 70 hours of branching content full of quests and memorable LPCs, items, perks, and tons of secrets to discover. We're aiming for premiere on Q2, so stay tuned for launch. Further research indicates that that may be May 23rd that they'll be releasing on. Yeah, this is a very nice game, actually. It's fun to play. It feels like Skyrim, but with that dodge and stuff, there's a little bit of different heft. The combat actually has a little bit more skill expression to it, which I like. It looks very nice. Optimization, I hope that gets worked on a little bit. It had a few stutters here and there, so I hope it gets more optimized. I love how everything looks. It looks so nice. Like, it's not just the graphics good. Like, even with the graphics I have the settings low, it looks so nice. Like, this Gothic, that's the term. It's Gothic. It is unapologetically Gothic, and that is brilliant. And it's not trying to be Dark Souls while being Gothic. You have some references, it feels like, with the Bonefire, but it's its own flavor of Gothic, and leaning into the Arthur mythos is nice, too. We have so many mythoses and histories and legends in the world. We should definitely use them because they have stood the test of time for a reason. We know about them for a reason. It's nice to have your own story, but when you can draw from another story and then mix and match things and throw things together, that's really good too. So stories, it's intriguing and it's nice to be able to call things, and it's like, oh, what's the mystery of Arthur not dying? And it sort of gives you the, will Arthur actually be an enemy or not later in the game? It has that feeling there, so you get that mystery, which is really nice. And the Red Plague and the priests and everything is a gritty, dark world. No, I'm looking forward to this game's full release. Also, like how it doesn't mind being sexy. They expressed it early in the game with the artwork, various different things. I like how the game doesn't apologize for being sexy. Because a lot of modern games sort of flinch away from that or don't touch it, where it's like, no, the world has always been sexy. There's periods where puritanism comes along and slaps it. That's sexist. That's against God. That's bad. That's immoral. There's always periods of time throughout history, over and over again. And for the past 10 years, we've been going through one of those Puritan movements. A really weird version of it, coming from the other direction. It's coming from the progression instead of the conservative direction, which is a little bit weird, because it was always the conservative side, the priests. When I say conservative, I'm not, like, is the church and the old snooty people. But for a while, it's been coming from not them. And the sounds, even the spell, the sound design is nice. The spells impacting when you get the ember in both hands and you shoot it, and the targets ignites, like, doesn't feel all that good, but then you get two of them and you can make things light on fire and you're like flinging them like Spider-Man shooting his lips. It's really good. Yeah, I'm excited to see where they go. I would like it if you look down and you could see your body, but that can be hard to implement, although somehow some Skyrim mods do it, but I would like that. I also like more customization for the character. Maybe the final release will have that, because this is just a demo. It's not needed though. I want them to focus on making the game good, and they can polish it after they make it good. But I don't want them to ignore the polish either. Yeah, I hope the team the best. I hope they make the game a little bit more stable so people with less powerful computers can play it. I hope they... Like, it's obviously going to be an Xbox release, but Xbox has slowly shifted towards being a computer, but that might affect the ability of their release, which is a little bit of a shame. That can't be helped, though. They have their publishing deals, so they have their publishing deals. I'm not happy that's an Xbox release, let's just put it that way. But it should be a really good game. I hope it continues to deliver as it's delivered so far. Like, look, how the hands move when you spam both the clicks. That's really good. It's really, really good. Alright. I feel like this is going to be potentially Game of the Year. It has the potential to be Game of the Year. It really does. People have been dying for a game like this for a very long time. Like, actually, people love this kind of game. And so if they can pull it off, 70 hours of gameplay, even if it's not open world, even if it's more linear, sort of like a hybrid between Skyrim and other games I've played, it will be really, really good. So here's hoping for that. Okay. And yeah, just, I think I've pointed out a few things, but there are little details here and there, but I'd have to play a much fuller game for a bit longer to get it, because a lot feels good. Like, there's no complaints about the bow. I mean, gained arrows there. Cold water test. Water makes a little bit of a sploosh, it's not making a ripple, but... Oh, you can actually swim? Oh, wow. Well, that changes things. Yeah, the water's not rippling, but water physics is like a later thing to do, and again, from what I read, this is a rather small team. So that is fine that they haven't done 200 man-hours of work on doing stuff to the water. Like, if the fire entered the water, and instead of hitting the ground there, it had like a little screen where I recognized the water and went tss, and just went out. That'd be nice instead of splashing on the ground. Maybe they haven't thought of that. Maybe one of them will watch this video and consider that, or they'll go, yeah, we want to do that, but that's so much work and we'd rather just finish the game than do that. Some teams might go, no, that's a good idea, we cannot release the game until we have that done, and we have that fixed with the water. Some teams might just go, it's not the biggest deal. I feel like if you want to be a game that's recognized forever, you go the extra mile and you delay it by the 10 days. And you make so the water sizzles. That is my thoughts and details like that. Like, if you want to be a game that's remembered forever, that is what you do. But you can also just be a very good game and not do that. Also, my graphics aren't at max. Maybe max graphics somehow make it do that, but this seems more integrated with game settings. It's hard to say. It does look nice though when the fire hits the ground. It looks really nice when the fire hits the ground. That little scorch mark that's left behind, little embers. Charge blast being bigger and the embers last longer. That was very good looking. Don't get me wrong in that. Slaps a nice texture palette right onto the rock surface. Always like texture palettes. It's like the bullet holes. The games are like bullet holes in the walls. Right, yes. That's been me, Lorthorn. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll catch you all next time. So until then, goodbye. Just saying that, like, make that, like, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Make that just, like, a little bit more, you know? Like, it's there, though. It's actually outside the armor. It's there. And we can see. Did do that in the lighter. Oh, there's a hole through me. Ooh, that's something you might want to work on. There's a hole in that texture going straight through the person. There's actually no human inside it. It's going to make mutterings about chest size, and I discovered a visual error of the person's transparent there. Even though they're still working on it, like there's the stretch factor. The fabric's being deformed across the chest, which is nice. It doesn't need to be like Unga Boonga Bazunga either. Actually, considering it's leather armor that I picked up from a dude, I'm fine with it not being Unga Boonga Bazunga. Yeah, okay. We'll say though on the I don't think medieval bras looked like that. Also, to assuage my concerns, and also possibly yours, we've got this wonderful screen capture from the Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon, of her wearing this excellent looking piece of armor here. And we can see over here that that's the piece of armor selected, meaning that the male's version of the armor is very different than the female's version of that armor. And that's something I always like to see, is that dimorphism there. Because that means the developers care. Because what it's really easy to do is you make the armor, then you have the male model, and you lightly deform it on the female. And that's where a lot of all this nonsense has come from, is it's partly pure laziness, because it's very easy to do some quick deform work and make one clothing set fit all. But if you have male and female characters actually in your game, and then you put the work in so that the male version of the armor is different than the female version of the armor, one, that means you care, and people care about their games. That means the game is going to be better than a game they don't care. And two, it looks really good. Like, this is what I want. This is what I was talking about. This is definitely what I want. So this is partly assuage some of my concerns. And with that last bit of degeneracy, I bid you all adieu. What on earth is going on with that shield there? And that sword. I want that thing now. I also want third person. Maybe it'll be there in release. Okay, bye.